That's all I'm saying.
So yeah, but me being at a party with all his people that he deals with is not. That's not gonna make me happy.
So y'all not coming to the coming home party?
If all his that you've invited are gonna be there,
I didn't invite nobody.
Girl,
you seen the whole list? Who on that list?
He invited them then. He on FaceTime invited every single one of them.
Oh, you talking about?
So there's no reason for me to.
I don't even think that girl. They like that.
There's no reason. They've all them right. So there's.
Blueface is finally formally released from prison as promised. He promised everyone that he would not be imprisoned for long. Now, he is moving freely as though nothing had happened. And what do you know? Carissa Saffold. His mother is already in full swing and planning a sumptuous homecoming celebration, as though her son had just won a championship. She's announcing the news, inviting everyone, and setting up balloons before he's even unpacking his bags.
I want him though. I want him to stop doing that.
Wanting him. It's about like your position is already solidified.
I would like him to stop doing that, and I would like that if he gets out and he wants to do a family meetup at BJ's and whatever at bonfire at the beach. That sounds great. But when it comes to a little party that he's trying to do with everybody, no.
So you guys are not coming to perform at the coming home party.
I don't need to be
for
around
him to get out.
However, because Chrisean is taking on the role of event planner, things aren't going well for the new mama. Jaidyn, the primary baby mommy, has no interest in any of this. She's been silent, distant, and simply unresponsive on the subject. No congratulations, no welcome back. She's acting as if the party doesn't exist. Chrisean, she's not just watching. From the sidelines. According to rumors, she's getting her hair done and picking out her best attire in anticipation of an unexpected arrival, for which no one is ready. There are rumors that she plans to spoil the celebration as a whole. To draw attention, make a statement, or just to be seen, we don't know yet. However, since this reunion might easily turn into a fight, people should not record. It's going to get noisy pretty soon, and that's not all. For a long time, this drama has been simmering. A few weeks ago, Chrisean released a stylish little video online. No faces or names, only vibrations. But we all knew who the specific individual involved was. Dear Blue, the title of the video was clearly made for Blueface alone. In the video, she showed her feelings by saying that she was thinking of going back to his house with their young boy. She didn't hold back either. She spoke as if they were going to pick up where they left off, as if the Jaidyn drama, the headlines, and the chaos in the courtroom had never even happened.
Daddy, I'm coming back on me and the baby. I miss you, just waiting on your call. I love you. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
She gave off the impression that she was very certain of her choice and that no one could change it. The wildest thing was that people responded fast. In the comments, many said that she is plotting and that things will not work out. Because, let's be honest, in Blueface's world, everything involving his baby mom soon turns into a circus. While that anonymous video might have seemed harmless to outsiders, it was a warning shot to the streets. She wasn't just venting her feelings. She was outlining exactly what she was going to do next. You already know that this is not your typical mansion if you have been absorbed in all the drama. Chrisean was immediately ejected by Blueface's own father at the same spot. Furthermore, and there was no silent escape. Her belongings were thrown out into the open like trash, including her clothes and luggage. Additionally, the entire event was streamed live online. It was awkward, degrading, and simply mean. She was removed in real time while the entire world watched, and the remarks were harsh. There was laughter, judging, and screen recording. The whole thing was a storm of shame. In the present, the same woman who was publicly ejected is talking about returning, much like yesterday's guy. It is, in fact, leaving people perplexed. Why, for instance, would she want to go back after that? That kind of content leaves an imprint no matter how lengthy the history runs, but maybe pride isn't the problem anymore. Maybe the intention is to prove something. Perhaps Chrisean isn't coming back for love. Maybe she's coming back for what she thinks is hers, control or closure. In any event, going back to that house is a statement rather than a simple gesture. And people are watching you carefully. Blueface suddenly shifted direction and made another move that had everyone talking after all of the chaos, which included Chrisean being evicted and her possessions being scattered around. He had taped Chrisean a message. He made it clear that she could go back to the house at any time. Why? Because it was said that she was going through a tough period.
This is a message for Chrisean and Gina Malone. I accepted you back in with open arms so you can get on your feet. Ultimately, for my son to get on his feet. I offered you money just so you could solely focus on our son taking his first steps before his second birthday. I don't need you. I don't know what this jewelry heist ransom story you got going on is about, but if you have the funds to get your own space, you're more than free to do that. I thought I was doing you a solid, you know.
She had no permanent place to dwell and was effectively homeless, according to the streets. It wasn't just hearsay either. Blueface sounded very serious throughout the tape, as though he felt obligated. But here's the twist. He claimed to be doing it for their son Junior. He said it had nothing to do with Chrisean. It is related to the baby. He wanted Junior to be able to grow and reclaim his independence in a secure environment. The problem is that when he instructed him to get up, he meant it. For instance, he was talking about Junior taking his first steps. It was a bit insane. In the midst of all this grown-up drama, Blueface was trying to project an image of a father figure, but many weren't sure if this was a technique or a ploy. He was making excuses about Junior, according to some. Others implied that he was finally trying to act like a real father. Anyway, it added a whole new depth to this hectic situation. This subject has been making the rounds in the streets for nearly 2 years. Since Chrisean's baby child was born, people have been talking about him, speculating about him, and analyzing every aspect of his life online. The main problem is that it's more than just idle chatter. He hasn't been meeting the major developmental milestones that most kids his age usually achieve, including walking, and people have started to notice this. By now, Junior has fallen behind other kids when it comes to running about and scaling. Furniture and
Leave him out of this argument, bro. Like, why lie like that? Why play like, oh, at least get him to walk? Bro, you don't even know what's going on.
If you have a roller bag, please
you don't even know what's going on.
Sideways like a
you don't.
taco.
He don't know what's going on.
Flat. Put your
Like,
roller bag in sideways.
He the
like
only
a
nigga,
taco.
only father I see that try to tear down his kid. I'm always with my son. Like, why y'all keep trying to do
Put that
that?
roller bag in wheels and first.
That's crazy. I took off a whole year. My son had.
and people started naming what they think he might be struggling with because the internet is never quiet. Recently, the term craniofacial syndrome has been in the press a lot. However, based on unsupported speculation, a lot of individuals on the internet referred to it as Cleridoka syndrome. Junior's incredibly high-pitched cries and his facial features, which some claimed matched those of children with that sickness, led them to this conclusion. To be clear though, none of the family members confirmed any of this. There has been no formal diagnosis established. It's just speculation and rumors on the internet that hasn't stopped people from turning into medical investigators and analyzing every video and post that Chrisean makes about her child though. To be honest, things have gotten out of control on this delicate topic. People are forgetting that this is a real child and not just a popular issue. But the commotion on the internet hasn't subsided at all, it's just getting louder. Chrisean now gets quite protective if someone implies that baby Junior might be ill, and it's not only that they're talking about him. The reason for this is that she is being directly blamed by some. You see, a lot of people saw that she was going out to parties while she was expecting, consuming and allegedly utilizing the bottle, continuing to use it actively, and possibly doing a few more things. Now, there is conjecture that her choices during her pregnancy might have affected Junior's development. Additionally, it is a burden that any mother must endure. But here's the problem. Random internet users aren't the only ones starting this. Blueface's mother, Carissa Saffold, has even shared her own opinions on the subject. Indeed, it went viral as soon as she brought up the problem. During one of her live
Look at my grandbaby and see that, and that was my first time seeing it.
Oh God.
And it did. It crushed my heart a little bit. It did. But I love all my kids no matter what I told you, whether they slow, need a helmet, whether they got nappy hair, whether they short, funny looking. I love all my grandkids, but I ain't gonna lie. My first initial thought when I saw him in that restaurant, it crushed me. And for her to say she wanted to stomp me out, girl, you ain't. I can't even tell you what my mind wanted to do to you once I looked in his face, and I didn't know if he was looking at me, you, or the air. I was hurt, genuinely hurt. I never seen what they saw. I literally thought this whole time that maybe people's fans was doing something to the pictures or, making it not. I didn't believe it the whole time. I just was like, nah, John said there was a couple things going on, but he didn't say.
She made it clear that she was equally concerned, even though she didn't say so out loud. Additionally, that only made matters worse. When Carissa expressed her views, the whole situation shifted from internet gossip to real family strife. Chrisean thought that people were trying to denigrate her character and portray her as a bad mother because of her history. She now gives a firm clap in response to any mention of the topic. It's clear from her actions that she doesn't want to be held accountable for anything that happens to her son. On Instagram Live, Chrisean had one of her usual dramatic tantrums and shocked everyone by telling the truth. She was speaking from the heart and was experiencing her emotions when she disclosed something that briefly chilled folks. She said she was devastated when she saw baby Junior for the first time. As a new mother, it was not your typical moment. It wasn't all smiles and happy tears. Instead, she described how she knew something was off immediately. Something that complemented everyone's online whisper she had been throwing around for months. Although she didn't go into detail, her tone suggested, without stating it directly, that the stories had some truth to them. This was the closest Sean has ever come to openly acknowledging that Junior might be ill, something that internet people have been speculating about for a while. Her voice was pure, like though it had shattered her heart right then and there. Even though she's been hitting back furiously at people who inquire about her pregnancy, this moment also showed a different side of her. It's bringing up feelings of grief, fear, and maybe even guilt.
Guys, Vince, tell me what we doing.
Man.
We moving my shit in my house. Real, bro, like what the is happening? That's crazy, bro. Gotta get the baby stuff. Chrisean, Jesus, let's go to our new home.
It shook both her detractors and her supporters. Blueface didn't keep quiet either. Jaws fell to the ground when he posted something on social media right away. The manner in which he unmasked Chrisean shocked even his own fans. He posted, "My son is not healthy because she smoked and got hit her entire pregnancy. She couldn't even take a month off." The post was strong. Someone questioned, did he really just say that? It wasn't just a slight jab. The full-fledged charge might be publicly witnessed by everyone on the planet. As if it wasn't enough, he went on. "She smoked a blunt on the way to the hospital," he added in a later post. The inferno was started by that second line. The comment sections were filled with ideas, arguments, and downright disbelief. Many were stating, if what he's claiming is true, it could explain a lot. Others, however, were quick to point out that, as he was not a part of the chaos surrounding that pregnancy, Blueface was likewise not an angel in this situation. However, it was clear from his tone that he was blaming Chrisean for any health issues Junior might be having. It was raw and cold and lacked a filter. Whether it was the truth or just a difficult moment, he spilled it all, and it became viral. On the internet right after, Blueface didn't hold back. He kept throwing shade and stacking the receipts. He went on to explain that Chrisean was planning a full concert while she was still pregnant and that she had been smoking before she went into delivery. Really, I mean it. He claims that she smoked her way to birth. That's the kind of thing that makes folks shudder. To be sure they heard it right, they looked at it and hit the play button. Things get considerably messy at this point. Chrisean is a major topic, according to insiders. beyond merely what he stated she believes. That Blueface is using Junior as a pawn. According to reports, she is angry that he let her back inside, saying that he did it for the kid and not because he loved or respected her. Although she thinks he is using fatherhood as a pretext, he is actually using it as a means of control. In his taped message, he also said that he encouraged Junior to advocate for himself. That line resonated deeply. It wasn't just a kid-friendly comment. It was another subtle hint that something important was happening with Junior's development, as most toddlers at his age are already running about. So why does walking remain so crucial? That comment sparked more rumors, and some people think Blueface knew it would. Regardless of whether he meant it out of concern or shade, that one comment pulled the curtain back a little more, and people are interpreting it in different ways. There's no silence from Chrisean. She's responding with a hard clap. According to her, Junior is doing well, and she's been making every effort to make sure he gets the help, counseling, and other support he needs. She claims that people should stop posing as doctors on the internet and that he is making an effort and improving daily. But according to the streets, she is still angry with Blueface in spite of everything. Why? Because by bringing up Junior's alleged illness again, he is exerting power over her.
Just in case they try to say I left the house dirty, this how I left it. Cause they f***ing lying. And then they try to say, oh, we had her stuff at storage. No, y'all had my stuff. Y'all had my stuff back here in the Corvette. Look. This is where they had my stuff at. Hiding in the Corvette. This is some of my stuff. Look, the baby stuff. He ain't show y'all everything because he lied. It was never in storage. It was all at his house. Hiding. They hid my... Blueface hid my... Gave me an ultimatum to come back home on his terms on some demonic...
statements. Such as, he just wants Junior to get on his feet just to get her back in the house, give her the impression that he is taking advantage of his kid. That did not sit well with her at all. In response, Chrisean packed up and moved everything she owned out of Blueface's house. She isn't being playful anymore. According to Risa and multiple people with knowledge of the matter, Chrisean wants to bring the same exact energy to Blueface's massive homecoming party. And even if she does come up, it won't be all smiles and handshakes. Meanwhile, Blueface's mother, Chrisean, is taking the brunt of this situation. She has total authority over everything, including who goes, what they eat, and what drinks are served, presented, as well as the color of the flowers on the dining table. It feels like the red carpet. She's getting help from her party planning buddy, Jaidyn, with the setup. But here's the twist. Jaidyn claims she won't even attend the event. Why? Because it appears that Blueface is extending an invitation to all of his former partners. According to rumors, the guests include Tom, Dick, Harry, and all the women he once flirted with. Instead of being a celebration, Jaidyn believes it's turning into a circus act. Chrisean is pouting and Jaidyn is skipping now that Blueface is inviting the whole city. This homecoming appears to be anything but peaceful. It's about to go crazy. Chrisean reports that Junior is doing well and that she's been giving him the support he needs. The streets claim that she is still angry, that Blueface excused her return by citing their son. Not love, but out of control. For that reason, she packed her bags and left again. According to rumors, she is now celebrating his homecoming with the same zeal. Blueface's mother, Chrisean, is planning the event with Jaidyn by her side, much like she would at the Met Gala. In a way, as Jaidyn has already declared that she won't be going. Why? Blue is extending an invitation to all of his old friends, turning a quiet family moment into a heated dispute. In the continuing hostility between Chrisean and Jaidyn, fans are already picking sides. What do you think will happen if Chris, Sean, Jaidyn, Blueface, and Mama Chrisean all wind up living together? One user said, Jaidyn is the growth we wish Chrisean had. The next video is much messier, baby, so please hit like, subscribe, and leave your views in the comments area.